Hey everybody, welcome! My name is Kurt, aka the Vitruvian Gamer, and this is...
Elise, hi!
Alright, so we're doing something new. We welcome you both to this playthrough because today we're going to play a two-player game. We're going to play Beyond the Mist. This is a print and play game by Babis Gionnias or something like that. Also the designer of Kune versus Lakia, also a two-player game. We saw this game, we learned this game when we were on vacation in Paros, Greece. We met Babis there, he taught us this game and we fell in love with this game. So we asked Babis if it was okay to do a playthrough of it. And that's what we're going to do. So you can join us at the table while me and Elise fight for control of the lands beyond the mist. Let's do it. There we are at the table, and first of all we have to set up this game. Now before I start, this of course is a print and play, so this is not a factory assembled copy or something like that, so quality might not be as you're used to, but you can also make your own copy if you want. You can find the link in the description below to the Patreon of Babis where you can support him, and when you do so you will receive files for a new expansion once in a while, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so we have three types of cards. We have faction cards, land cards, and the heroes as well. We're going to play the game. We also have 10 markers each. Just pick some out of a game you don't play a lot or whatever you have lying around. So we have 10 of each. And the first thing we do is we'll take the lands. These are 9 lands. We shuffle them and we put them in the middle of the table. We put 3 face up next to each other and the other ones 3 below and 3 above those lands. There we go. This is the land that we are going to explore and conquer. But as you can see, lots of the lands is still in the mist, but we are bound there to find out what's there. Then each player will get 1 faction card. Now, I'm not going to explain the rules before we'll play, they just will be explained as we go. So each player get 1 at random. Of course, we can look what we got. Here we go, this is mine. Now, factions are cards that you can play in your turn. Actually, as an instant, it doesn't cost your turn or an action. You can play it whenever you want in your own turn. And then we have all these heroes here. And we are going to deal 6 to each player. And then we'll explain more about setup. So each player gains 6 cards. There we go. And the other go in a draw pile next to the play area. Okay, first thing each player will do is take a good look at his 6 cards and choose 2 of them. Those 2 heroes will be their pioneers. They will be the ones that clear the roads to all these lands and will determine how many of these markers we will get to use during this game. So what we'll do is we pick 2, they won't be part of our hand anymore, but they will give us cubes total of the 2 numbers on the flags on the top left corner. So we'll take a good look at the lands there and see what might be useful. So let me think. I'll take that one. Maybe. Oh, I have bad hand of cards. Oh, okay, let's do this one as well. Let's do this one and this one. Alright, so these 2 I'm not using, so we'll put them face down in front of us. As soon as both players have chosen, we both reveal them. So I have a total of 7. Elise has 7 as well. So we both get 7 of these cubes. Now normally the number of cubes you start with also determines starting player. The player with the most cubes is starting player. Now this is our first game. We both have 7 cubes to play with. That means we will determine this random. So I'll take 2 of these cubes in my hand. 1 in each, and Elise will pick 1. And that will be the starting player. So Elise will go first. Okay, now, in next games, if we play best out of 3 or best out of 5, next time when there is a tie, the player who lost the previous game will be starting player when they have both equal amount of markers. Alright, so we can play. We still have 4 heroes in our hands. Elise will pick one of them and play it, and we'll explain what those heroes do as we play them.
I play discard.
Okay, so Elise plays a slaver. Now, when playing a card, you'll see a hero always has 2 symbols there. They can be the same or different. Well, not the same, but they can do lots of things. Now, the symbols in the square, they will do something on the lands. They have one of the 6 land types that you can have. You have mountains, as you can see here. You have plains. You have swamps as well, which are not here yet. There are rivers. There are deserts. And there are also forests, like this. Now, Elise played a swamp. That means she can put one of her markers that she got at the beginning of the game on one of the swamp places on the board. There you go. Now she controls that land for now, and at the end of the game, this hero will score her 1 point for each desert she controls. So at this moment, this card is worth 1 point. But she's not ready yet because she has the symbol of the fanatic. Now, the symbol of fanatic, the fist you see here, will copy the other symbol as well. It won't score her the points like this symbol does, but she can put another marker on a place that's a desert. Alright, now very important to know, there can only be 1 marker on each spot. Now each card has 2 spots, of course, so there could be 1 here, but there cannot be 2 here. If I would have gotten myself marker here earlier, and Elise wants to place her cube here, instead of putting her cube here, she would remove my cube instead. But for now, she places her marker there, and that means her turn is over. She draws up to 4 cards again, so she takes a card from the draw pile, and now it's my turn. Okay, and I'm going to start simple as well. I'm going to play the River Duke. Now, the River Duke, as you can see, has 2 square actions here, and 1 for a river and 1 for a plain. So it's very simple. I can place 1 here on the river spot, and I can place another on the plain spot. But another important thing, as soon as you have 1 marker, at least 1 marker on the board, to place another one somewhere, you have to place it on an adjacent card. So if this plain would be here, I could not place it because I don't have a marker here in the middle. But for now, I can easily place it here, and that's my turn. I draw back up to 4 cards, so there we go. Now we have this one that we might consider playing next round. Back to Elise.
Let's see. This is good. Yeah, let's play this one. The Count.
The Count. Now, when playing your second or next heroes, you always have to place it to the right or to the left of the previous heroes. There might happen more with the circles, but I'll explain when that happens. For now, she plays the Count, which allows her to place something on the plains or remove one of my cubes from the plains. And the other action is an intrigue action, the candle right over there. That makes her draw another faction card from the draw pile right over here. And you can see she does that first because she can choose what action she wants to do first. She can do the intrigue first, then the plains. She could even do the intrigue first, then play a faction card, and then do the plains.
Nope.
Alright, she keeps her faction cards for as it is, and for the plains action, she'll probably give me back my cube here, sadly enough. Alright, so that's her action. She draws a new card in her hand, and now it's back to me. Okay, I'm going to play the Master Explorer, and his name says it all. He can explore very good. So I have to place it on either side. Now, this previous one has 2 orange or yellowish half circles, and I place it next to it. Now that means I complete a full circle here of the same color. When you do that, you are allowed to take one of your markers in your pool and to put it on that circle. This character, this hero, well, both of them are protected against attacks from your enemy. I'll show you, well, or we show you cards that do that later, but now these are protected, so that's always good. Now, for this action here, this symbol, the spyglass or telescope, that's the explore action. To do an explore action, you put one of your markers on the action spot. Now, that marker at the end of the game, when it's still there, it's worth 1 victory point, and points are very important because they are not getting very high. And exploring means I can reveal one of the lands in the mist next to one of my cubes. So I can pick one of these 2 cards to explore. Let's go here. There we go. So we have a new mountain range here, and we have some more plains. And this symbol we already know, this is the fanatic symbol. I can repeat the previous action, so I can do this again. Make a new explorer, so I get 2 points here, and explore some more. There we go. This is the symbol of the swamps that wasn't on the board yet. Now each symbol is on this complete map 3 times, so we know there are still 2 swamps somewhere else. Alright, that was my action. I draw back up to 4 cards, and now we go back to Elise.
I like to play the Mountaineer.
Okay.
I place it here.
Elise places it next to the Count, which gives us a full green circle, so she can put an army or a soldier there. And then she can explore or put something or a marker on a mountain as well. So, and you can do that in any order. So what will she do first?
Explore.
Okay, so she reveals a land, more mountains, more forests, and she of course puts one of her markers on the explore symbol of the mountaineer as well. So you have to put one here.
Oh yeah.
And that will give her 1 point at the end of the game. And that's it. Short turn, 1 more card into her hand, and now it's time for me to react. Okay, so I think it's time to get a little bit more aggressive now. So let's pick this card here, the Bandit. Alright, so by the way, this artwork is done by a friend of Babis who also did the art for Kune versus Lakia. And some of the art is pretty neat, if you ask me. So I play the Bandit. No full circle of 1 color, so I cannot place a soldier there. But I can still do these 2 actions, of course. So I'm going to place one of my markers of my pool on a forest. I could choose this one as well, but I'm going to put it there. And I can do the aggression action, the attacking action. This symbol means I can kill any one of my opponent's heroes in front of them, but of course these 2 are protected by the soldier. Now I could choose to remove this one with this symbol here, so that means later I could try to kill them, or I could kill this one because he's unprotected, and since he gives 1 for each desert, Elise controls 1 point for each desert. That one is worth 2 points, so I think we will get rid of the slaver. And now we go back to Elise, who probably wants some revenge. After I draw a new card. Yeah.
Okay, I will play the Ranger.
The Ranger will be played.
Sorry.
Okay. Now she makes a full circle of yellow, orange. There's something in the files that doesn't match the colors, but this is one in the same color here. So she puts a soldier there, and that allows her to do something on the forest and to explore as well. And again, she can choose what to explore, first to explore or first to do the forest action. Now she could not remove mine here because she is not adjacent to that one, but she can still add one here or on this card if she wants to. First she's exploring. Okay, now for exploring you have to put a counter there. And now you can see she's out of markers, but that's not a big problem. She can move any one of hers to somewhere else, or she could move one of her soldiers there as well if she wants to. And what will she do? And she removes her desert people there because she doesn't score any points anymore for deserts. And she'll place it. No, she cannot place it here because that's not adjacent anymore.
Of course. Let's do this.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that's Elise her turn. She'll take a new hero card.
Sorry.
And then it's my turn. Okay, and I'm going to play the River Merchant. So we're going to play this lady. Left or right, it doesn't matter because I cannot make a complete color circle. Okay, now she has a new action. The coins right over here. But let me do the other one first. So I choose, well, I can place one on a river. I already have one here. The only one that's adjacent to one of mine is right over there. And now for the merchant. You can take one of your markers of your pool and place it on one of these 6 symbols. Let me go a little bit lower with the camera. And so I'm going to choose forests right over here. That means at the end of the game, the River Merchant will score me 1 point for each forest that has a marker on it. And doesn't have to be a marker of me. It can also be one of Elise. So at this moment, there are 2 right over there. And why do I choose this one? Well, she might, with another action that we haven't seen yet, she might remove one of my cubes, so she still could remove this one, but she cannot remove her own with a mage. So I hope things will go as planned. We'll see that very soon, because it's Elise's last turn.
I play this card.
Okay, so that's something new. Well, 2 new things. We first have a faction card. Now, faction cards you can play before you play your hero, after you play your hero, or in between the 2 actions of your new played hero. And the new symbol here is the mage symbol. Now, Elise played the Sages of Ardenmoor, and this symbol lets her remove one of my cubes on one of the lands. So she can send one back to me. And she'll choose one of my river folks here, and that's a good choice because I scored 2 points for each of them, and now I have 2 points less, so that's painful. But she's not done yet.
Let's see. I would like to play this one.
Okay, so we have the lizard folk envoy, and we see a new symbol. Now, are you going to do that first or the other one first?
I will do this one
Action first. So, a new thing means diplomacy, and diplomacy means Elise gets to draw at random one of the cards in my hand, and she can choose either to take it in her own hand, but then she'll have to give one of her cards in her hand back to me. So I'm back to 4 cards, or she can put this card into play for a short while and use it for one of both symbols on the card. Now, so she plays it on the table. That means she can either place someone of her people or her cubes on a forest tile, or remove this one of mine, or she can even use the fanatic symbol here, and that means she can copy one of the symbols of her last played card as well. So she could do 2 swamps, or she could do another intrigue and draw a new card from my hand. Tough choices over there.
Let's see. That's 1, 2. I would like to do this one.
She's going as a fanatic and she'll copy
my
her swamp. Okay, so that means she can place 2 of her markers on swamps. She'll go there, and there is one more on the other side. There we go. Alright, I take this card back in my hand, and Elise's turn is over unless she plays another faction card.
No.
But she's not. That means it's back to me, and I'm going to play my last hero. Okay, as the last action, I'm going to play the Druid here, the Druid Exarch. And he, as you can see, is very good in the forests. So let's put him right next to the River Merchant.
Really?
Now, I could place this one here, but I'm not going to do that because it's not necessary anymore. And what I can do, well, I can do this action twice, as you can see. So first, I'm going to remove Elise's cube from the forest. And now I can do this one and do this again by putting one of mine over there. And that is the end of this game. Now, let's go over to scoring the points, and we'll start with me. That's easier because the camera is already here. So, this druid will score me 1 point for each forest I control. As you can see, I control 2 of them, so that's 2 points for me. The river merchant scores me 1 point for each river I have. I have 1 here, that means 3 points, and 1 point for each forest that is controlled on the map by any player. So 2 more points over here, so I'm at 5 points. Ooh. The river duke, 1 point for each river, so that's 6 points, and 1 for each plain. Unfortunately, all the plains are empty, so I do not control any one of them. For the explorer, I gain 2 points because I get 1 point for each exploring cube there, so I'm at 7 points. And the last but not the least, the bandit scores me 1 point for each forest I control. So that's 2 more points, that gives me 9 points to end the game with. And I've got a little secret on my sleeve as well, because I have 1 special faction card. So that's great that I can explain this for now. This is the Centipede Cartel. Now, if I had played this during the game, I could gain 2 more cubes from the reserve into my pool for me to use. But if I chose not to play this card and reveal it at the end of the game, this card is worth 1 more point. So let's put that here. That means I ended the game with an unbelievable 10 points. Now, let's go to Elise and let's count her points. Okay, so first we start from left to right again. We have the Lizard Folk Envoy, which gives 1 point for each swamp Elise controls. She controls 2, so that guy is worth 2 points. The Ranger would have scored her 1 point for each forest, but at the end I got rid of one of her forests, so that's no point, but she gets 1 point for the Explorer that's over there, so she's at 3 points. 1 point for each plain, but sadly all the plains are abandoned. And then we have 1 point for each mountain, so that's 1 more point for her because of this mountain, and 1 more point for an explorer. That's 5 points. So yours truly has won the game with 10-5. Awesome. So that's a revenge for the previous playthrough I did against Elise, so I'm happy. But normally this is the moment you say, alright, let's play again. Best out of 3, what do you think? And you do so. Okay, now, before we say goodbye, we have done all of the different kinds of actions. We've seen all different kinds of terrain, so that's pretty cool. We have not seen all the faction cards, which are pretty easy. So Elise still had the Explorer faction card in her hand. Now, if you play that one, let's see, yeah, if you can still see it, you also can put one of your cubes on it and do a normal explore action, and it's worth 1 point at the end of the game. You also have one for the Fanatic, which copies 1 action of your last played hero. You have also the Gladiators Guild, well, which acts like a normal sword, so you can kill one of your opponent's cards or remove one of these soldiers protecting them. And then this one is the last one, a special one, the League of Nihilists. This one is not played on your own turn, but when your opponent plays a card, a faction card, you can cancel it by playing this as a reaction. And that's Beyond the Mist. We really like this game, and well, if you think this is might be something for you as well, well, don't doubt, go to Babis' page. You can download the files for free, so the only thing you have to do is print it out, get some sleeves, put it in some sleeves, and, well, find some cubes, and you can play how much you want. And if you really like this game and want to see more in the future, more expansions, I already saw the beginning of the first expansion, which adds a little bit more nastiness to it. Well, if you're interested in that, feel free or think about supporting him on his Patreon page. He really deserves it. He's a really great guy and he has made a really great game. So, that's it for now, people. I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like, or if you liked what you saw, feel free to give a thumbs up. One of Elise's thumbs, there you go. And if you're not subscribed yet, do so, because the more the merrier. Alright people, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we see you all in the future, somewhere beyond the mist.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.